Arabic or Arabic. Arabi is the classical Arabic language of the 6th century and its modern descendants excluding Maltese. Arabic is spoken in a wide arc stretching across Western Asia, North Africa, and the Horn of Africa. Arabic belongs to the Afro-Asiatic family. The literary language, called Modern Standard Arabic or Literary Arabic, is the only official form of Arabic. It is used in most written documents as well as in formal spoken occasions, such as lectures and news broadcasts. Arabic is a Central Semitic language, closely related to Aramaic, Hebrew, Ugaritic and Phoenician. Standard Arabic is distinct from and more conservative than all of the spoken varieties, and the two exist in a state known as diglossia, used side by side for different societal functions. Some of the spoken varieties are mutually unintelligible, both written and orally, and the varieties as a whole constitute a socio-linguistic language. This means that on purely linguistic grounds they would likely be considered to constitute more than one language, but are commonly grouped together as a single language for political or religious reasons. If considered multiple languages, it is unclear how many languages there would be, as the spoken varieties form a dialect chain with no clear boundaries. If Arabic is considered a single language, it is perhaps spoken by as many as 420 million speakers in the Arab world, making it one of the 6 most spoken languages in the world. If considered separate languages, the most spoken variety would most likely be Egyptian Arabic with 89 million native speakers, still greater than any other Afro-Asiatic language. Arabic also is a liturgical language of 1.6 billion Muslims. It is one of 6 official languages of the United Nations. The modern written language is derived from the language of the Quran. It is widely taught in schools and universities, and is used to varying degrees in workplaces, government, and the media. The 2 formal varieties are grouped together as Literary Arabic, which is the official language of 26 states and the liturgical language of Islam. Modern Standard Arabic largely follows the grammatical standards of Quranic Arabic and uses much of the same vocabulary. However, it has discarded some grammatical constructions and vocabulary that no longer have any counterpart in the spoken varieties, and has adopted certain new constructions and vocabulary from the spoken varieties. Much of the new vocabulary is used to denote concepts that have arisen in the post-Quranic era, especially in modern times. Arabic is the only surviving member of the ancient North Arabian dialect group attested in pre-Islamic Arabic inscriptions dating back to the 4th century. Arabic is written with the Arabic alphabet, which is an abjad script and is written from right to left, although the spoken varieties are sometimes written in ASCII Latin from left to right with no standardized forms. Arabic has influenced many languages around the globe throughout its history. Some of the most influenced languages are Persian, Kurdish, Somali, Swahili, Bosnian, Kazakh, Bengali, Hindi, Malay, Indonesian, Tigrinya, Pashto, Punjabi, Tagalog, Sindhi and Hausa. During the Middle Ages, literary Arabic was a major vehicle of culture in Europe, especially in science, mathematics and philosophy. As a result, many European languages have also borrowed many words from it. Many words of Arabic origin are also found in ancient languages like Latin and Greek. Arabic influence, mainly in vocabulary, is seen in Romance languages, particularly Spanish, Catalan, Galician, Portuguese, and Sicilian. Owing to both the proximity of Christian European and Muslim Arab civilizations and 800 years of Arabic culture and language in the Iberian Peninsula, referred to in Arabic as Al-Andalus, Arabic has also borrowed words from many languages, including Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, Persian and Syriac in early centuries, Kurdish in medieval times and contemporary European languages in modern times, mostly English and French. History. Pre-Islamic Arabic and Arabic language. Many Semitic languages were spoken in Arabia during antiquity. The first of these languages to share the isoglosses of Arabic dialects are today labeled Safetic and Hismaic. These were natively written in South Arabian scripts, although some transcriptions into Greek script survive in graffiti. Some Safetic writing was etched into the walls of Pompeii, and in Arabia are recorded imperial Roman names like Claudius and Titus, implying a 1st century CE date, at least for these. The earliest inscriptions of Arabic in the Arabic script date c. 512 to 568. The Aramaic alphabet was introduced to the Arab people through traders from the Mediterranean Empire, and the Arab people began using the script during the Christian period in the Middle East. From the Aramaic, the script continued to develop through two separate kingdoms in the region, the Nabatean and the Palmyran. The Arabic script that is widely used today developed from the Nabatean kingdom's writing script. While the Nabatean alphabet and writing system met a great deal of the needs, it did not provide letters or symbols for T, H, pentagram, Z, and D, which were not represented by Aramaic script. The Aramaic writing system also only provided 15 letter shapes for 28 consonants. In order to differentiate between consonants that had the same shape, a system of placing dots around the letters developed. It took over 100 years in order to codify these dots around letters. Evidence of the development of codified dots is recorded on numerous different codes and tombstones. In the 8th century, the dots were finally codified enough that all texts used dots with the exception of purely decorative writings that were not meant to be read. In addition to the issue of codifying the dots above letters, there was also the issue of how to represent vowel sounds in Arabic script, a language made up of an all-consonants script. During the 7th century, a dotting system also developed to mark vowels. Red dots were used to mark vowels while black lines were used to mark consonants. Eventually smaller versions of the letters representing short vowels were placed above consonants in order to indicate that a vowel was present. Pre-Islamic poetry and early Islamic literature, the oral poetic tradition had been alive and well for centuries in the Arabian Peninsula before it was eventually recorded. Arab poets blossomed in the 6th century AD, but their work was not recorded or written down until the 8th or 9th century AD. There were linguistic oddities in regards to spelling found throughout the poems. The poems had been recorded, but there were different speaking and pronunciation techniques used by different authors when trying to record a poem that had previously only been recited. These differences reflected how different dialects had a large impact on written Arabic and how texts were recorded. To solve this problem, grammarians and scholars asked Bedouins to recite poems in order to hear how they pronounced the poem, as their voices were believed to be pure. Consensus was then used to determine the correct pronunciation of a word so that the word could also be spelt correctly. Eventually, scholars and grammarians developed a system for standardizing classical Arabic so that texts and words would be written in a way that the majority of the population could understand. Muslims believed that the Quran was revealed to Muhammad in 632 CE. Both a formal and informal version of Arabic existed during the pre-Islamic period. The informal dialect was used on coin and tomb inscriptions, while the formal variety of Arabic was used on letters and contracts. However, contracts were sometimes written in a mixture of formal and informal Arabic, reflecting the large influence dialects had on the written language in pre-Islamic Arabia. The Islamic conquests an Arabic language. The Islamic conquests introduced Arabic to new non-Arab regions, such as North Africa, Spain and Persia. As a result, Osmanli, Kurdish, Persian, Urdu, Malay, Berber, Swahili and Hausa all adopted some Arabic alphabet into their writing systems, and Arabic adopted 12 letters from others. These sounds entered Arabic through loanwords. In the 8th century, Islamic scholars in Lower Iraq feared the influence that the recently conquered non-Arabs would have on the language, and scholars became more conservative and a more standardized classical Arabic writing system developed. However, non-Arabs had a huge influence on the religious writings at the time, since many of the intellectual elite were non-Arab. Modern era throughout Pax Britannica, and well into Pax Americana, most countries officially use the Arabic numerals, which originated in India. Arabic numerals are vital to the smooth operation of international banking, and most countries' national debt. During the colonial era, the European powers occupying Arab nations actively encouraged the public spread and use of colloquial Arabic dialects and suppressed the use and teaching of classical Arabic. This caused great diversity in dialects throughout the Near East, Northern Africa, and even Eastern European dialects of Arabic like Czech Arabic and Slavo-Ondersky Arabic. After wiping out a third of the Algerian population between 1830 and 1872, for example, the French then closed all Quranic schools and banned public usage of Arabic. Arabic was actually declared a foreign language in 1938, and while about half the population was literate in Arabic at the beginning of French colonization, 90% of the native population was illiterate in both Arabic and French by its end in the 1960s. Classical, Modern Standard and Spoken Arabic. Arabic usually designates one of three main variants: Classical Arabic, Modern Standard Arabic, and Colloquial or Dialectal Arabic. Classical Arabic is the language found in the Quran, used from the period of pre-Islamic Arabia to that of the Abbasid Caliphate. Theoretically, Classical Arabic is considered normative, according to the syntactic and grammatical norms laid down by classical grammarians and the vocabulary defined in classical dictionaries. In practice, however, modern authors almost never write in pure Classical Arabic, instead using a literary language with its own grammatical norms and vocabulary, commonly known as Modern Standard Arabic. MSA is the variety used in most current, printed Arabic publications, spoken by some of the Arabic media across North Africa, the Horn of Africa and the Middle East, and understood by most educated Arabic speakers. Literary Arabic and Standard Arabic are less strictly defined terms that may refer to Modern Standard Arabic or Classical Arabic. Some of the differences between Classical Arabic and Modern Standard Arabic are as follows. Certain grammatical constructions of CA that have no counterpart in any modern dialect are almost never used in Modern Standard Arabic. No modern spoken variety of Arabic has case distinctions. As a result, MSA is generally composed without case distinctions in mind, and the proper cases are added after the fact, when necessary. Because most case endings are noted using final, short vowels, which are normally left unwritten in the Arabic script, it is unnecessary to determine the proper case of most words. The practical result of this is that MSA, like English and Standard Chinese, is written in a strongly determined word order, and alternative orders that were used in CA for emphasis are rare. In addition, because of the lack of case marking in the spoken varieties, most speakers cannot consistently use the correct endings in extemporaneous speech. As a result, spoken MSA tends to drop or regularize the endings except when reading from a prepared text. The numeral system in CA is complex and heavily tied in with the case system. This system is never used in MSA, even in the most formal of circumstances. Instead, a significantly simplified system is used, approximating the system of the conservative spoken varieties. MSA uses much classical vocabulary that is not present in the spoken varieties. In addition, MSA has borrowed or coined a large number of terms for concepts that did not exist in Quranic times, and MSA continues to evolve. Some words have been borrowed from other languages. Notice that transliteration mainly indicates spelling and not real pronunciation. However, the current preference is to avoid direct borrowings, preferring to either use loan translations, or to coin new words using forms within existing roots. An earlier tendency was to repurpose older words. That has fallen into disuse. Jarada, newspaper, less than, palm leaf stalk, Colloquial or dialectal Arabic refers to the many national or regional varieties which constitute the everyday spoken language. Colloquial Arabic has many regional variants. Geographically distant varieties usually differ enough to be mutually unintelligible, and some linguists consider them distinct languages. The varieties are typically unwritten. They are often used in informal spoken media, such as soap operas and talk shows, as well as occasionally in certain forms of written media such as poetry and printed advertising. The only variety of modern Arabic to have acquired official language status is Maltese, which is spoken in Malta and written with the Latin script. It is descended from Classical Arabic through Secular Arabic, but is not mutually intelligible with any other variety of Arabic. Most linguists list it as a separate language rather than as a dialect of Arabic. Historically, Algerian Arabic was taught in French Algeria under the name Darija. Even during Muhammad's lifetime, there were dialects of spoken Arabic. Muhammad spoke in the dialect of Mecca, in the Western Arabian Peninsula, and it was in this dialect that the Quran was written down. However, the dialects of the Eastern Arabian Peninsula were considered the most prestigious at the time, so the language of the Quran was ultimately converted to follow the Eastern phonology. It is this phonology that underlies the modern pronunciation of Classical Arabic. The phonological differences between these two dialects account for some of the complexities of Arabic writing, most notably the writing of the glottal stop or hamza and the use of alif maksura. Language in dialect. The sociolinguistic situation of Arabic in modern times provides a prime example of the linguistic phenomenon of diglossia, which is the normal use of two separate varieties of the same language, usually in different social situations. In the case of Arabic, educated Arabs of any nationality can be assumed to speak both their school-taught standard Arabic as well as their native, mutually unintelligible, dialects. These dialects linguistically constitute separate languages which may have dialects of their own. When educated Arabs of different dialects engage in conversation, many speakers code switch back and forth between the dialectal and standard varieties of the language, sometimes even within the same sentence. Arabic speakers often improve their familiarity with other dialects via music or film. The issue of whether Arabic is one language or many languages is politically charged, similar to the issue with the varieties of Chinese, Hindi and Urdu, Serbian and Croatian, Scots and English, etc. Similar to how speakers of Hindi and Urdu will claim they cannot understand each other even when they can. Speakers of the varieties of Arabic will claim they can all understand each other even when they cannot. The issue of diglossia between spoken and written language is a significant complicating factor. A single written form, significantly different from any of the spoken varieties learned natively, unites a number of sometimes divergent spoken forms. For political reasons, Arabs mostly assert that they all speak a single language, despite significant issues of mutual incomprehensibility among differing spoken versions. From a linguistic standpoint, it is often said that the various spoken varieties of Arabic differ among each other collectively about as much as the Romance languages. This is an apt comparison in a number of ways. The period of divergence from a single spoken form is similar, perhaps 1500 years for Arabic, 2000 years for the Romance languages. Also, while it is comprehensible to people from the Maghreb, a linguistically innovative variety such as Moroccan Arabic is essentially incomprehensible to Arabs from the Mashriq, much as French is incomprehensible to Spanish or Italian speakers but relatively easily learned by them. This suggests that the spoken varieties may linguistically be considered separate languages.